for the ICF Canoe Slalom World Championships. We're back if you've been following us this morning. Hello if you haven't. It's been drama, it's been excitement, and now it's finals time. Finals time, the top 10 boats or athletes who've been competing in the semi-finals and heats earlier in the week are now going to go head to head. Who's going to be the world champion? I don't know, but hopefully my guests will tell us how it works out. Robin Jeffrey from Australia and Matt Lister from the UK, both top C2 paddlers. Matt was on the course about a couple of hours ago as a forerunner. Robbie has to concentrate on his C1 tomorrow. How are you guys?
Good, thanks. How are you, Matt?
I'm looking forward to it. Talking to the other Matt.
Two Matts. We're going to have a little code name for one of you, maybe.
Just call me Lister if you want.
Lister,
Lister
done.
will do me. Yeah, cracking. This course is it's quite surprising how many people have been caught out by this course so far. It didn't feel that technically challenging in the forerunners and the demos that we did, but it seems to be really taking its toll on a few of these athletes. There's been some quite big surprises within the C2s and the K1 women. Lots of big names not making it through. In particular, all three of the Czech boats, none of them made the final.
Rob, you're watching courtside, I guess. What are your thoughts as we're going into the final?
Yeah, well, this is what we've been training for all year. This is what we've been racing towards all year. It's Olympic qualification and it's the world champs. There's a lot riding on this race, and I think we saw that in the semi-final. A lot of nerves, and here we go. Here's the start list. So kicking it off, Becker from Germany. They really dominated the early part of the season, so that'll be a good early marker. Then into the French, Pico Bizot, always very strong, and it's just a really well placed, well stacked list of talent there.
And as we see, no Czechs, no Slovaks, but don't panic. They have obtained their Olympic quota, but we saw the Skantars fall off, we saw the Hochschorners fall off, and all Czech teams that we were waxing lyrical about in the first time of the horse, the first part of the course, they didn't really come through, did they?
No, they really struggled with that, and you just see that a lot of people are building into these runs. You can't go first straight off the start because you have to go into that gate 3. Lots of touches have gone down in gate 3 so far, so we're going to see these boats starting now.
Here goes Becker.
Yep, the most physical course. Will it suit the Germans, who are a physical style of paddling? Clean so far. That gate 3 cost so many crews and so many girls touches on that first semi-final run. But they're clean and they're looking smooth. Going for the direct move. I think we'll see most of the back right crews going for direct.
Super good water there between 5 and 6. That wave is so inconsistent. Sometimes you get a wave and sometimes it's a stopper, and they got really good water there.
So I think gate 8 is going to be a bit of a time cruncher. You need to get out of there super tight and keep the run on. Otherwise you're going to be just leaking time.
Yeah, 26-25 on that first split there, and I think this morning we were looking around a 26 mark on that first split, so they're in contact with the fastest times.
So we've seen some of the power parts of the course. Now we've got the finesse. We've got to get up nice and light on top of the stopper, the wave, the big white section, but I think they've just got a 50.
I think that was a 50. It looked like a half head to me. We'll have to see what the judges say about that, and yeah, it's gone on there.
Leaning back, yep.
Effectively that puts them out of the game.
Definitely.
Indeed. I'm sure the Germans will want to put in a protest about that and see if they can do anything, but it looked to me like it would be a 50.
I'm not sure there's too much to complain about. You see them just getting heavy again, getting really, that stopper is messy, nasty water, and they're pushing them around again. Here we come, last up left. As a back right crew, their arms must be absolutely burning, but they're keeping it nice and smooth. So at this stage, it's unlikely that they're going to challenge, but you never know what can happen with the later crews.
Indeed, but as you see, they've put a good run down. They didn't lose much time from that 50, so it'll be a good pace marker to show what
touching the last
boats
gate
will be doing.
I think the Becker knew that it was over with that mind lapse at the end there, but saying hello to the fans back home.
But again, a great performance in the European Championships this year, becoming European champions. Really good performances all the way through the World Cup, through the season. Really good form. So
clearly they were fast.
Very fast, but here we can see, and that's definitely not the whole head. Cut him straight in half there, having to lean back, running a short line. And we're going to see the crews maybe pushing and maybe having to just go back a little bit. Just monitoring how they're approaching the course.
Yeah, Yeah, the pace that they put down there was a 1:02, and you see the fastest times this morning were a 100 for the C2, so they're really fast. It's such a shame that that 50 was so costly for them.
Well, K1W, the first of 2 French crews to go down today. They were the vice world champions last year in Deep Creek. There's your mate.
Yeah, they're kind of a unique crew, very smooth. There's some of the Aussie crowd, but here we go. Here's the crew of the moment, K1W, sorry. And like I said, they're a little bit more of a longer stroke rate than most of the French crews. Most of the French crews really get that stroke rate going, but they're running that short line round up 3. As a back left crew, they can attack it a little bit more than some of the back right crews, perhaps. But it'll be interesting to see what they do here on gate 5.
Taking the move on forward again. I don't think we'll see many people spinning in this final through gate 5. Really smooth around gate 6 and getting right on the pace again. You see the boat moving all the time, but these guys really good at keeping the boat on top of the water. Only 0.26 down on the split, but that was off of a run where it contained a 50, so we're really on the pace, and it was a really fast run from Benning back there.
They're looking good. Just measuring their approach to the start of this course, keeping it smooth, because they know that the physicality comes in at the back of the course. So here we go, light up on top, driving in. And they want to get the boat up above the stoppers so they can keep the boat running down into the next section. Get a little bit caught, but that's not bad at all.
Just a little bit of time ticking away there between 12 and 13, just not quite running the boat where they wanted it to be.
You can just see all the way down this course, there's so many stoppers that do exactly as their name suggests and stop you, and that constant re-acceleration, that's what hurts your arms. So they're going for the spin. There's a back left crew, yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Very nice run there. I saw Dave and Rich were one of the only boats this morning to spin that move, and I think a lot of other boats may have seen that as an opportunity to make some time, and they really did take it.
Oh, that was marvellous, in the words of Richie Benoit, just drifting out on top of gate 20 there. And they're going to carry their speed now all the way to the finish. You can hear this big French crowd going absolutely crazy.
Super smooth all the way down that bottom section. They didn't lose hardly any time at all. 1:02.25 is a really good time.
So,
even if the 50 would miraculously come off, they still take provisional first place.
Indeed.
So 2 seconds slower than Dave and Rich's first run, but that's a great marker to put down in the final. Put a bit of pressure on the other guys coming down later.
Yeah, and off the back of their silver medal from last year at the World Championships, they'll be happy with that performance.
Matt, you were in the last year's World Championships. What's the mindset going in? Is everyone going for first, or some people saying, well, I just can't do first, I might go for a medal?
I can't speak for all the athletes, but mine and Reese's approach to everything is we have this mentality of race to win. You don't come into sport to not win. You wouldn't want to, I'll settle for 5th, I'll settle for 10th. It's the drive that you have, you always want to push forward and get those extra seconds everywhere you look in, and it's taking the risks in the appropriate places to get that time.
Well, first of surprisingly 3 Polish doubles to go down.
Yeah, these boys have had an amazing season all the way through the qualifications, winning several qualifications at the World Cups. They're a very young crew. Still a lot to come from them, I feel.
There they go. So, again, back right crew, going a little bit deeper, a little bit longer line than we saw from K1W, keeping the speed on. So I wonder if that was a tactical move to just assure that they keep it clean as I hold my breath through that tricky section, but they did it really nicely. They're getting the good pre-turn, holding the inside pole on gate 8, and that's fast.
They're 1.5 seconds up on that first split, and you can see the boat moving all the time. Oh, and just as I say that, they pick up a touch on gate 9.
So cool, that water at gate 9 there, just sliding around the back, and as a back right crew, that's quite hard to manage, so they really need to pick up the pace, because that advantage they had, it's gone.
Exactly, and just dropping a little bit low into 11 as well. That time's ticking away, and you can see the pressure they're putting on themselves. They've kind of kicked up the pace a little bit.
It just looks to me like they're dabbing a little bit. What do you think, Lister?
They've got quite a short stroke rate as it is, and I think it's probably coming from having such a size difference in the two of them. The front man's probably around 5'10", and the back man's around 6'2", 6'3", so maybe they're having to compromise slightly in that style, but it seems to work for them through the seasons. We'll see how it goes.
Yes, you can see front man Matt, just getting on the front of the boat, trying to wait it to get under gate 17 and then keeping it light through gate 18. Quite quick body movements.
We're picking up those 2 touches is going to be massively costly within this C2 final. We saw a lot of the girls getting away with a lot of touches because a lot of other girls messed up, but the C2s here, it's such a tight race between them. It's going to be really hard to judge.
Yeah. Well, as you can see on your screen, 102, and they've taken another one. That's going to put them way out of the way.
Yeah, 111.77, so plus 6 seconds of penalties. I think we'll definitely see some quicker times than that, and we already have. But yeah, as you said, just a great run from the young crew. So I'm sure we'll see them plenty of times in the future.
Next up, the world champions, who know how to celebrate when it goes right.
Yeah, it's such a distinctive style, these guys. It's just they really do paddle right on the knife edge, always throwing the boat around. The front man has got such a reach on him, not just to the front of the boat, but leaning out to the side of the boat on his sweeps and his rudders as well. You'll see it all the way down this run, and it definitely works for them. They put some real pace down.
Of course, we're talking about Luka Bozic and Sasso Taljat, who's Luka's also having fun in the C1s.
Yeah, he flew down on in the qualifications in C1, but really watch, like Mr. was saying there, his body movement front and back, keeping the weight on the front when they're trying to get the nose to accelerate downstream, and when they want to turn quickly, he'll lean right back. So that's how you can help the C2 maneuver the way down the course. They do it beautifully. So driving down here, just getting the boat run on. Longer line again, but I think the back right crews will struggle to really hold that inside pole.
Yeah, that's the danger of gate 3. If you can't quite get the bow underneath the inside pole, you do drop quite low because of the way that the water works in there. It recirculates quite heavily, and then if you do get it underneath the inside pole, you've got that risk of bouncing and taking the inside pole too.
And they copped that stopper there, so that held them up a little bit longer in gate 5 and 6. So, and they've got a touch as well, so they're 2.64 seconds down. And time's leaking away for the world champions. Will they be able to come back from this? That was nice, great edge, just keeping the boat light. This is where I think we'll see them shine. Again, just up on top, keeping it quiet. That's such a key to their paddling style.
Yeah, super smooth, super in control all the way down. They put the pace down when they need it, but they're able to just ease off when they need to too.
Yep. So back right, pushing in. They're a little bit low. I thought they'd really attack that and try and gain some of that time back.
But they're catching it up, aren't they? They're catching the time back.
They've made 2 seconds on where they were. They were falling behind, and they've just got it up. They're 0.3 down on the split.
So I wonder, is the spin faster or is that direct? Even though it's a little bit heavy, is that quicker than Pico Bizzo?
Pico Bizzo were very good around 17, 18, so they made quite a bit of time on them there, but this is really going to be crucial. Can they hold the line? Can they keep in contact with the stoppers? And they do. Super smooth through there. They've got to really put the pace down now, though.
Well, it's 102 to go for. It's going to be close.
They're just outside 103.46. So without that touch, that was a brilliant run. But they put themselves into medal contention so far. I think they'll be ruining that touch. I think that they would have been assured a medal without that touch.
The body language suggests that they've left something out there.
Yeah.
We do have 3 Polish crews in the final, and the next to go is Stepanski Pokwala.
Yeah, so they were the Olympic crew here in London in 2012. They know this course really well, and I think they've been one of the form crews for the past 3-4 years.
Yeah, these guys have been on several training camps through the winter over here, getting away from Krakow in the cold and coming over as slightly warmer, not exactly warm, but it's better
away
than it
from
has
the cold.
been. You've not been in Krakow in the winter. It's a good minus 20. My old coach was mental and made us do that.
Oh. No, it's cold enough here. It's beautiful today.
Slight downpours on Wednesday, and then it's coming better every day.
Indeed. Slight being a major understatement.
There's Jean-Michel Canoe in the background, who's organising this, the chair of the Slalom Committee.
Thomas Schmidt and Marion, the course designers, and Tommy was an Olympic gold medalist himself in Sydney in 2000. So he's one of the champions of the sport. Marion doing great work herself in the French Federation and continuing to do great work as a coach there. So that's our medals at the moment. Pico Bizzo leading.
I wonder if you have a slight delay.
Yeah,
See, they're discussing something.
A slight technical problem, I think. Maybe one of the gates might have an issue. In the past, if a crew has touched the gate really heavily.
I think they're just looking at gate 22.
We had a 1 minute pause. We're going to be off in a few seconds.
Okay. So anyway, back to it. Skupansky, Poschweiler. Here they go. The look of intensity on their face on the start line.
These guys always go off really hard through this first sections, and it's like they sort of get that pace on to begin with, and it gets them really into the pace of the run.
But they've got a touch. Gate 3's claimed another victim there. And they're going a little bit low and having to turn the nose upstream quite a long way. That's great work by the backman, but he just hangs on to it there. I thought they were going to fall off.
Yeah, balancing on the edge. It was really, really tight. They were on the edge.
I think that could hurt them at the bottom of the course, and it's already hurt them. They're 2.1 seconds down in the first split. So they've done the physical work at the top now. They've got a bit of finesse time.
Good into gate 11, using that real tight entry, get the bow around, holding the inside pole, and then coming across. Good cross into 12. Nice high exit so they can pull down into gate 13, and that way they can keep the boat running through into 14 and on to 15.
Yeah, best exit out of gate 12 I think we've seen. Sorry, gate 12.
Very smooth. On top of these two stoppers here, it's key. Just keep the boat running.
And they've gained a little bit of time. They're 1.8 seconds back, so slight advantage.
It's a bit scrappy in that upright there, just coming in a little too tight, just getting the boat caught.
And the boat's jumping around like a bull in a rodeo, so I think they need to really get that under control and keep it driving all the way into this last up. And very tight, very tight. Had to really weight off that pole, so that's a little bit slow. And again, they're sideways into this last stopper, so that's going to hurt them again. They're not getting that smooth flowing run to the finish like we saw Pico Bizzo.
And they're on the pace now. It's not going to be inside the top 3, but it's going to be a good time.
Well, although they have so far the first prize for noise following them down, but it's not going to be what they wanted.
108.04. So you can see how much time they lost in that bottom section. I think you really have to build into this course, like you said, Matt. And these guys went off a little bit too hard, and really they felt the effects of that at the bottom of the run.
Halfway down, 5 athletes, 5 pairs gone, 5 to go. At the moment, we have the French's Pico Bizzo who are leading. However, Klaus Pesch might have something to say about that.
Looked very close on that gate 3. I'm not actually sure. I did see a touch there, so be interesting to see if we get a little protest.
Yeah, there was movement on the poles, but it could have just been a bit of water.
It all happened so fast, so respect to the judges, absolutely.
Yeah. As we were saying, it's much better to get a slow build into this course. You don't want to go off the start too hard, because coming into the up left, gate 3, you really want to have that control on the boat so you don't take the inside pole out with the bow.
Here come.
World number 1, you see on their chest.
And they're looking to get rid of those nightmares from London in 2012. And they're the first back right crew to really hold tight on that up left gate 3. So these guys are the form crew, I think, at the moment in the world.
Yeah, they definitely paddle right on the edge of every stroke all the time, all the way down the course. They're just such like an incredible crew. The mastery behind them, the work that they do, you just see they know exactly where they want the boat. And look, 0.7 up,
They've been together
0.07.
for 14 years.
Yeah, but that's a slow exit, very slow exit. They got caught in the stopper, and I think their advantage has now turned into a disadvantage. But there's plenty of time at the bottom of the course.
Yeah, the form they've held through the entire season, they've definitely got some real good potential behind them for this race, and it'd be great to see them on the podium.
Great cross there, best we've seen going across there, and they're looking smooth still.
Real smooth. Just keep on top of the water through this section, like we say. You want to keep the boat dry, keep the boat running.
So they stayed right there. Most crews have been running back to the middle there, but they actually stayed right to get a little bit of a faster line.
And they're 1.5 seconds up on the split. This is looking like a really good time for them.
Gautier using the crossbow to keep the boat moving around and helping Matthew in the back of the boat.
Just see the compatriots there in the background looking on nervously as if they want the place, but they know that they can cheer on their teammates too.
Well, lots of noise coming in the last section of the course, and it's going to be close.
Big French
Ooh, that's a wide exit.
And they've copped a touch as well on gate 20. I didn't see the touch myself, but here we go. Here's a sprint. So the water circulates to the right there, and they're following it, and they're just outside. So 105.34. Again, that touch, will it cost them? So but they're 3 seconds back, so they still would have been outside their teammates' time. I'm really shocked by how slow they were at the bottom of the course there.
They seem to just lose a lot of time. It was coming out of gate 20. They went a little bit too high. They got caught on the stopper, and it dragged them way too far across the right-hand side. And as soon as you get into that position, you've got to be really gentle, because that second wave that comes after the main wave, it can really float. It can throw you in each direction.
I saw a nice video of you and Reese in that stopper there.
Yeah, it's definitely one. If you do get caught in it, it likes to hold on to you for as long as it can. And we ended up totaling one of our boats. It could be an expensive drop.
I tell you, Klaus Pesch found out how munchy that stopper is at the Olympics. Day before the race, they decided to see if they could run the guts of it, run straight through the middle. And it said no, and they were missing a bit of skin coming into the Olympic races. So, but here we are, Franz Anton, Jan Benzine. Again, probably one of the more unconventional crews. Jan in the back tends to do more of the power work, and Franz in the front tends to just keep the boat under control. Whereas normally, in my experience anyway, backman is there for control and the brains, but in the front man's just there for power.
Said that before. Both of the guests today, Robin Jeffrey and Matt Lister, are backmen, of course.
So we're not biased at all.
No, we just do all the work. They're 0.37 up on the split, so they've got a great first start. And you see these guys are both really accomplished C1 paddlers, as well as a great C2 crew together as well.
As a back left crew, is it quite hard to get into that up 11 because all the water's pushing you into the wall there?
Yeah, especially for us. We found that because we've got fins on the boat, if you're not quite tracking the boat downstream enough, the water coming off those blocks can really kick on those fins and push the tail down and get you really low into 11. So it's good that they're holding that contact.
Yeah, they're on a good run so far, nice and clean. Getting that good jump over the Ronnies there. And they...
Ooh, a great split, 2.5 seconds up. And as I say that, they've gone with a 2-second penalty in gate 16.
It's still half a second up. So they're still, and that's the fastest we've seen gate 18 done today. That was lightning quick. Here we go, Germans on the attack. They've struggled in the finals all year, this pairing. But even though they've made the final in every crew, Franz just reaching out and pulling it through on the crossbar. Great work there.
Wow.
I think this is the leading run.
They're going for it all the way through.
102 needs to be better than 102.
They've got to push hard. Hammer, hammer, hammer.
And that's got it.
Great run. They're stoked. Oh, I'm so happy for the guys. Such nice guys as well. So great work, Franz and Jan.
Over a second in the lead is a massive feat at this point of the race as well.
Doesn't guarantee them a medal, but with 3 crews to go, it must be a good feeling.
Almost. I think that's a medal. But imagine if they didn't have this touch here. I was a bit concerned they were coming so wide into the gate there, because as a back left crew, that's just going to put the slide on into up 16. So I was surprised with the line they chose.
99.17 pure time is the fastest of the day, I believe.
Yeah, but like we were saying, we felt the times were going to drop in below the 100 mark for both the kayak women and the C2 men, and they've done exactly that. It's a shame that they got that touch, because that was a very, very, very good run.
We don't want to go too much about the Olympics, but there's memories coming back. There's Stott goes and Florence Hounslow last to go. This time it's Etienne Stotts with Mark Proctor. Tim Bailey retired, and after the injury that they had suffered a couple of years ago, and now it's these two together, been together about a year, and you obviously know a little bit more about.
Yeah, these guys have only been together a year, but they're already really up there. You can see they came 3rd in the semi-final here. They came 4th or 5th at the qualifications. Straight away, they've got an amazing pedigree behind them. They've both really accomplished and experienced paddlers, and they're both really nice guys too. Great for the British team.
Yeah, great for our sport. Etienne I remember at the Olympics, just if anyone wanted to talk to him about his medal, he was there to explain it more about our sport. So great ambassadors. But here they are. They're doing the job today for Team GB. Mark just using some of his C1 skills, reaching across, doing a little crossbow and keeping the boat on that tight line. But they're down on the split, 2 seconds down. So they need to pick up the pace here.
But that 2 seconds is on a split where we had a very, very good top section from Jan Benzien and Franz Anton. So they're still in contact with the time that they need to be putting down.
And crucially, Etienne Scott almost didn't make it. He was just about to pull out of the heat.
Really?
Yeah, he's had quite a few injury issues this year, and it's been a bit touch and go with whether he was going to make it to the World Champs or not. But he's pulled it together. He's been really hammering his rehab. He's really, as usual, a professional athlete and done exactly what he needed to do.
I had no idea he wasn't letting on earlier in the week. So, but they're 2.6 seconds down, and going for the spin option here is the back left crew. I think it worked well for Pico Bizzo. Maybe a little bit caught up in the stopper, but you can hear this massive British crowd going absolutely wild as they drive into the last stop.
And crucially, they're clean.
You just hear the noise of the crowd is unbelievable. Like, everyone's running and cheering and standing up and shouting.
It's good. Got to drive now, boys. Drive all the way to the finish. They're getting a little bit too wide there, and losing some of that momentum.
They're going to be outside of the medal zone here.
But still, that's a great effort by them. 5th place so far. They don't quite have the handshake down pat. Tim and Etienne had that down pat, so Mark, work on that, mate. But great run in the final.
And the crowd absolutely loves that. Matt, just a personal word, how does that affect you?
Currently, that's okay. I can deal with that one. But the issue we have at the minute is if Dave and Rich are within the top 3, with Mark and Etienne pushed outside of the top 6, then if Dave and Rich are inside the top 3, they get automatic selection for the Olympic Games. And also, with the point system that the British team use, if Dave and Rich are above 5th place, they get an extra point on top of each point they win at selection that will go towards selection, which also almost makes it impossible for another team to be selected.
It is what it is. Let's have a look at the last 2 competitors. It's the Brzezinskis from Poland going down. We know that Franz Anton and Jan Benzien have a medal. Let's see what colour it is. 2 pairs to go.
So these guys burst onto the scene probably 2 years ago and just started making finals almost out of the wilderness. But they're driving in. That was great. They timed that jump perfectly in and out of gate 3.
For a back right crew through gate 3, that was amazing. And I've seen these boys through their under 23 and junior crew, their under 23 and junior years, and every race they're just hammering it, and they know exactly where the boat needs to be all the time. They're so in tune, and obviously being twins, they must use telepathy as well.
Seems to be a bit of a trait with C2, the family connection or twins, cousins. But as you can see, they're keeping it smooth and dry. But I think they're losing a little bit of time. We saw them 2 seconds down in that first run. They're just looking a little bit cautious to my mind. What do you think?
Yeah, it just looks like they're not quite and exactly where they want to be. They're a little bit off the line. They're just not quite getting this run going as it wants to be. They were 2 seconds down at the first split, and now they've got a touch on top of that as well. It's just not quite going in their favour.
Normally you see the guys really driving, really attacking their way down the course, but it's just a little bit cautious. And as soon as you back off the pace from your normal style, that can hurt you.
And again, another touch there on the outside pole.
So this run falling apart a little bit. So Jan and Franz looking good for the gold.
These boys have it in them, though, to get the pace back on, and they know what they need to do, and they've always got that mastery behind them. You can see the boat moving again. They're getting back on track. They know what they want it, and they know what they've got to do to get back to where they need to be.
That was amazing, that run into gate 20 as a back right crew. Such a hard thing to stop it from sliding out, but here they are, just waiting the patience. That was really great finish.
Well, 40 boats started off. They've made the final, and they have come into provisional 8th rank. So we know Anton Benzien have at least a silver medal. Pico Bizzo have at least a bronze medal. And the 2013 World Championships, and champions rather, and the silver medalists from London Olympic Games, David Florence and Richard Hounslow. We're going to see if destiny is in their favour.
Yeah, so last time they were in this position, in 2012, they got the silver medal. Can they go one better, or will Matt's dream stay alive?
I'd like my dream to stay alive, but I know how good these guys are. They are absolute machines on this course. Dave knows this course inside out. He knows everything about it. He's trained on here more than any British athlete, more than any athlete in the world. Every session he's on this water plugging away from the point that the water pumps go on to the point that they turn off. Even seen him coming down on course when the water is going off. He just makes the most of every single session he can, and he knows what he wants.
Brings that intensity every single time. I don't know how you train at that kind of intensity day in, day out. He is an absolute machine.
There you go, 100 seconds to tell us.
So Rich in the back just chilling out, just letting the machine do all the work basically, keeping the boat smooth, that's his job. But they're running a little bit low. Surprised how low they were there, but again, like we said, you build in from the top. You don't win the race at the top of the course.
Yeah, and you see these guys, the boat, they always keep it moving. It's something that we've noticed when we do video review against them. That boat is always moving, and they make time on people that you wouldn't even realise that it's there.
Oh, but here we go, there's a touch, and they're also caught in that stopper at gate 5. So time slipping away from the Olympic silver medalists here.
Well, the bronze medal is 2 seconds faster than slower rather than the gold so far.
They're still definitely in contact for the medals. I'm not sure about the gold anymore. But
that
these
was
guys
a good cross, though. These boys know exactly where the boat needs to be, all the way down the course. Look, they're getting super tight in there from 13.
Look at Dave kick in. He knew they were slightly in trouble there. Just a few strokes, out of trouble.
Boat on top of the water, constantly moving all the way through, and that time loss that they made at the top has barely been caught back up. They're only 0.1 down on the split with that touch on top of it.
Yeah. And we saw Jan and Franz had a touch, and they've gone to the spin. A little bit caught, but I think that's okay. Listen to this crowd. Here we go again. They're really building into it.
You can feel the grandstand shaking with the amount of support that's going down for these British boys.
Well, 2 gates to go.
They're a little bit low into that last up. Can they keep that, use the speed, extra speed all the way to the finish?
101.17 to take another 2 seconds.
I can't believe it. They've touched the last gate, and that's put them out of into 5th position. So 104.68.
Oh, so what that essentially means is that neither of the 2 British boats in that final there could make any headway on the Olympic selection. So that's left it wide open for all 5 of the British crews who can make it.
If there's no more problems or appeals out there, Franz Anton, Jan Benzian are the world champions. French is 2nd and 3rd.
Great year for the Germans, having a European champion and a world champion at the same time.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. I mean, and for Jan and Franz, they struggled in the finals all year. Like, they were always coming into the finals in 3rd position or ranked really high. But here we go, there's a touch. That's the touch that cost these boys a spot on that podium.
And for these boys as well, the amount of times they've done that upstream, we have that upstream set almost like 3 times a week. It's going to really, really, really sit sore with them.
Yeah, so that's what these world champs and Olympic qualification can do. Just that extra bit of pressure. You do things that you don't normally do, make mistakes that you don't normally make.
Yeah, the mastery behind these guys. It's such a shame because I would have put all my money on everything I owned that they would win this race, and I think even the coaching staff and a lot of the other athletes would have done the same.
Well, unfortunately for them, but in the benefit of the Germans, they come through. We're going to have a little bit of a changeover now. Thank you very much, Robin Jeffrey. Thank you very much, Matt Lister.
Thank you very much for having us.
Your dream lives on.
Indeed, I'm going to go training. Bye.
Rob, you enjoy yourself over the rest of the weekend, and we're going to. I'm going to stay with you. We're going to hand over a little bit to some others. Well, that's drama and excitement. We said we're going to have it, and certainly have. Great disappointment for the local crowd. But if you're just tuning in, the way the Olympic qualification quota places that work is it's the first 8 nations. So although the Slovakias and the Czechs didn't have a boat in the final, they were close enough to have the quota places, which is the most, I guess, the most important thing we can have in here. Well, we have our part of our team back from this morning. Rhys Davis, what are your thoughts hot of that? Wait, so I have to break off. We have the official results coming through. Germany, Anton Benzian take the gold. Pico Bizet for France take the silver, and Klaus Pesch for France take the bronze medal. That's absolutely not what the crowd were expecting, but that's the way it was. Rhys, what are your thoughts on that?
It was definitely a tight final, and got to really feel for David Rich hitting that very last skate cost them a medal.
Scott Shipley.
You know, coming into this, I think everybody was thinking that Hounslow and Florence would win this race. They have so much experience on the course. They're so quick in the qualifier. Then to see that turn around with that final touch, push them out of the medals, that was a big surprise. Very excited for Benzin and Franz. Very fast run on part of the Germans. And then the French 2-3, especially Klaus Pesch, they've just been very fast all year long.
Yeah, don't forget about Pico Biso. Managed to pull out a silver medal again, just like last year's Worlds.
Yes.
Right, we're moving on. We now have the K1 women's finals, and there's no one who doesn't deserve their place here. I think they've all pretty much either been in Olympics or World Championship finals before. We're starting off with the possibly one of the greatest slalom athletes ever existing. It's going to be Stepanka Hilgetova. She was in 92, 96, 2000, 2004, 2008, 2012, and it's looking no signs of falling off.
Stepanka here, she's competed in every Olympic since 1992. You think about how long she's been performing at the top level of the sport. For her to be in this final is amazing. It's an amazing feat of athleticism. She's the first one off the line. Jessica Fox, the silver medalist from the Olympics, she goes second to last. Mylin Xu looks like she's unbeatable out there today. She went so quick through that semifinal run. She looks like she's perfectly on form, and so this is going to be a very exciting final.
Yeah, Stepanka's a true legend of the sport, especially considering how much the sport's actually evolved over the past couple of years. We've seen shorter boats, we've seen quicker runs, more technical courses. Let's see what she does today.
And she said when she won her first Olympic gold, she was so expected to win it that it wasn't actually much fun the second time round. She wasn't expecting it. It was a lot of fun. Let's see how she goes today.
And she's very careful around gate 3. Recall there were only 3 clean runs in the semifinal, and so many girls hitting at least one of the first 5 gates. You can see Stepanka now, she's picking her way carefully through those gates before she takes off in this lower part of the course.
Yeah, she's a bit unlucky with the water there. It's surged up, she had a bit of a surf, but she's going to keep pushing. Let's see how she gets into gate 6. Oh, 8 even, and nice. In and out, onto the next one. She's on a flyer.
When you look at her, all that experience shows she's so reliable. She's so good at putting the boat where it needs to be. You watch that boat as it comes down the course, and it just keeps moving towards the finish line.
Yeah, she's really effective at keeping it moving and tracking as well. That's like the highlight of her skills. Let's see how this cross goes. Beautiful. As a cross, that's what you want at this point in this course. On to the next move into 13. Just a little bit held up by the stopper, but she's keeping her composure. She's moving through. Just a bit of fight here for 14.
You know, there was a point in time where you could expect Stepanka to win. That's no longer true. She needs to have a good run if she wants to get on that medal stand. It looks like she's putting together a medal-winning run on the top part of this course.
Yeah, she's got plenty of competition from her Czech teammates.
Oh, and apparently she's taken a penalty. I did not see that penalty come down.
I must have just brushed it. Oh.
That is not good.
It's not what you want.
A lot of people having trouble with the 16, 17, 18 combination this morning. The people who get it right are so fast, and the people who get it wrong spend a lot of time trying to fix it.
Yeah, you got to really watch out there. The water will surge, it'll mess you around. If you get your angle slightly wrong, you're going to suffer and pay the consequences.
The interesting move there was Hounslow and Florence doing that as a spin on the gate 17, spinning above and jumping the hole. We haven't seen much of that today. It looks quite quick.
Yeah, I could say it's almost as quick as the forwards. So not a bad safe option.
Well, she's made the final. 66 women started off a few days ago. I don't know how many finals she's made, but she's not happy.
She is not as quick. Even if you look at the raw time, she's not as quick as she was in the semifinals. So a disappointing result for a very great athlete.
Next up is Melanie Pfeiffer, who medaled last year, 2014, in Deep Creek. And Scott, Deep Creek for you as an American was a success?
A huge success. You know, it's so important for our country to have the world come across the ocean and compete in our world championships on home turf. We had a world champion for the United States. We had a fantastic event, and so many people who had come to that 1989 Worlds, which is the last World Championships that was held in America, came back out again to watch the athletes in '89 or in last year's World Championships. So just a great event.
There she is, Melanie Pfeiffer.
Getting ready to go. She's been hoping to definitely put up a big performance this time.
It's maybe not true, but she's talking to yesterday. She's one of the most relaxed during the competition athletes.
And she's got a great personality. She's got a great race head. You know, bronze medalist coming in is defending a bronze medal at the World Championships from Deep Creek. She also was the last person in the qualifier at the pre-Olympic event and then won that event here. So she's got success on this course in her history.
And that's what you need on a course like this. If you know you can paddle it well, just be that bit more relaxed, a bit more composed, and just be ready to react to the water that little bit quicker and better. So she went for a spin there on gate 5. I think it's going to cost a little bit of time.
You know, we saw the German girls doing that this morning with some success, and so with all the touches that we saw before, that was one way to sort of stay off the poles. I don't know how that'll rank in the final, though.
I see she's just off Helga Tova's top split, where obviously Helga Tova's still decent at this point in the course. So,
and crucially, Helga Tova, someone is appealing a penalty.
Would that be gate 8?
When you look at those early goers in the semifinals, everybody was taking touches in the top part of the course. We haven't seen that. We haven't seen that in the top part anyway in these first two girls. So much more precise than they had been.
Yeah, they've been a lot more cautious this time. Poles in gate 3 are very low, but if you can risk it and get your bows just under, it's going to save you about good 2 seconds around the course. So we might see some of the later ones taking the risk and maybe getting a touch, but we'll wait.
You know, Germany is a very team-oriented country. To have a gold medal in the C2, you start building that momentum. It looks like she is absolutely fired up, and this is a good run.
Well, she'll know about the C2. It's surely going to drive her on.
Just time for this last breakout. Just a little bit low, but if she can set herself up for this next move, she should be fine. Let's see.
If you're going to be low, you got to bring that speed into it, and she cuts it tight. This is going to be good.
She's got away with that. That's an impressive line. Now for the final sprint.
Well, it's significantly slower than the fastest semi-final. Clearly goes into rank number 1, but not sure that's going to be enough.
I think she needed a clean run if she wants to get on that medal stand, but that was not a bad run for Melanie. She looked quite good out there.
Well, now we have the crowd warmed up. We saw the extraordinary amount of excitement and noise when we had the 2 Brits down, and it is Fiona Penny coming next. So let's hope this scaffolding is made of something solid where we are.
Yeah. Home water for Fiona. She can be ridiculously quick on this course. She likes to take the risk. She likes to go for the command style breakouts. She'll fix skates. She'll power through. Yeah, we should see something special right now.
And as we saw last year, she came 2nd in the world, so she knows how to perform on the big stage.
Well, and I don't think that semi-final run of hers was an indicator of things to come. She was so quick on the top, and it really only fell apart in the final 2 or 3 gates. If she can fix that, she can win this race.
Well, she's done Olympics in 2008, missed out to Lizzie Neith, who we're going to see in a few minutes after, in fact, 2012. So there's also going to be internal competition as well. In the girls, it's going to be the first 15 nations who've actually qualified. French clearly haven't put a finalist in this event, but they don't worry because they're going to have the quota. Same with Austria.
Well, and that was a big surprise. Olympic gold medalist Emily Fair has done so well on this course and had such a good year this year, and then to not make it into this final, that's a
what you have to see there. Yeah, Fee came, she tried to get under the bow underneath the inside pole of gate 3 to save some time, but couldn't quite deliver it and just took out the pole. And she's going for the spin option here again. This isn't the start she'd want, but we know Fee, she can push it down right to the end. She's going to take some time back, hopefully.
The British have been so strong on this course over this race. I got to believe she can make up a 2-second penalty if she pulls it together.
Yeah, well, as you can see, she's only just a second out of the lead at the moment. She's more than her capabilities to bring it back. She's just got to keep her focus, keep her composure. She'll be fine.
And that is very nice into 11.
Time for the cross. That's what we want to see. That's the style of breakout you want in 12. See how the speed carries in and carries back out again.
She's got such aggressive lines.
It's Fee. She's an absolute powerhouse. We're training with her gym, and she puts us boys to shame a lot of the time. That's where it comes in handy.
In this middle part of the course, it's all about how fast they can move that boat through the waves. She is keeping the speed on all the way.
Taking it back, look at that.
Taking it back. Just a little bit caught up in 16. She's stalled a little bit. But she's moving. Let's see how this key move works for her.
Oh, a little bit of a bobble there. She needs to get that boat speed back up again.
She's picked up another penalty on 17. There you go. We can feel the grandstand shaking again.
Yes.
The crowd's going wild.
That is a good upstream on the left.
Tight line here.
Too tight.
Oh, Fee.
She is going to pay for that. The thing we saw in the morning is you have to be aggressive on this 20-21-22 maneuver to be fast.
Yeah,
she was a little too aggressive though.
Yeah, she pulled her tights just a little, line just a little too tight and paid the price.
She was never going to be second, was she? It was all either I'm going to take it apart or, unfortunately, it's all.
Good to see she's still clapping on. She's keeping a good attitude, but deep down she's going to be gutted.
Well, not even that deep, unfortunately.
No.
Well, that is bad news for Fiona. The good news is there are 2 more British athletes in this final. There's 3 British girls who've made it to the final, so this hometown advantage has worked out very well for the ladies. Interestingly
enough, in our selection policy for the Olympics, there's points to be grabbed from this World Championship final. So Fee's going to be watching anxiously for her teammates.
Lizzie Neve is the next athlete up, the Olympian from 2012. Injured in the last year or so, but now she's back to form. Let's see how she performs under the pressure.
Yeah, Lisa's had a great recovery. Last year, I believe one of her ribs was actually fractured throughout the year and got worse after rest and recovery. But she's back on track. She knows what she's doing. She's got plenty of experience. I believe she medaled back in 2009 in the World Champs. She got a bronze. She can race well.
She looks composed. Look how relaxed she looks in the starting gate.
And then look at the power she can put straight down. Ooh, again.
Same again.
Trying to go bows under. It's a risk.
It's just not worth the risk in this event to be taking a risk on gate 3. Everybody who goes under takes that touch.
Yep, and she's going for the spin again on gate 5. But nice water there. She was definitely got a good bit of luck back on the side.
Got some catching up to do right now.
Yeah, just a bit offline going into 7. Also, although she's only half a second up in the split, I think she actually did lose a lot coming into 8. But as you can see, she's back online, and how's she going to do gates 11? There we go. Nice.
Look at that. She's absolutely taking the risk she can get away with here.
Oh, no. Commentator's curse coming in there.
Well, and that is a painful loop there.
50.
Oh, that is unfortunate for Lizzie.
I did not see the 50 there.
No, personally I thought she got in the gates, but
That can be reviewed.
judges,
But even after, she's still 4 seconds back off the pace, even if that comes off.
yeah. But she's still going. She's a good fighter. Yeah, nice line there through 17-18. Now for the final push. Now she's going to get this last breakout.
The interesting thing about this final in comparison to the semifinal is so many athletes were trying to win a spot in the Olympics in the semifinal. You've got to finish in that top group, top 15 countries to be able to go to the Olympics. Now in the final, it's all about who can be that world champion, who can get on the medal stand for this
Well,
race.
even if the 50 comes off, she's well out of it, unfortunately. Scott, you've won umpteen medals at World Championships a few years back. How much is mental, how much is physical?
I think it's a little bit of both. You see those top athletes in training being the top athletes in the race. Having said that, you see it stir up at every one of these things. The athlete needs to get their head together. They need to have a good race plan, and they need to execute it well. And so when you see these mistakes in gate 3, those are a bobble. They need to be making a plan that goes around that gate, that's concise, that makes its way down the course. And so I think we're going to see a lot better runs coming into the last part of this final.
Well, next to go is former world champion. It is Jana Dukatova. Anika Liska won 2 Olympic golds. Then Jana seems to have taken over the ranking, and let's see how she goes today.
Jana has had such a good career. She's a very reliable performer. She does very well at World Championships. She's been on that medal stand before. I'm curious to see how she goes after that gate 3, because it seemed in the C2s that the successful strategy there was go a little wide and then pick up the pace after you get around gate 3.
She goes.
Anyway, Dukatova is famous for kind of a floating, gliding style. She may not look like she's going hard, but she is going quick. Let's see where she goes in gate 3. Nice. She actually went bows under that, but pressed just a little bit carefully, and she's kept it going. She's got away with the risk.
She is looking very good in this top part of the course.
There you go. She's going for the forwards and predicting a leading split here.
And you can see how precise, how controlled she is. She has the strategy, and she's putting the boat right on that line.
Oh, just lost a little bit of time on that last bit, but as you see, it's second and a half up. That first breakout paying off for her.
If you watch her, she just keeps that boat moving. She keeps it right in the middle of the gate, and she's absolutely flying through this middle part of the course.
Well, the Slovaks are just next to us, so we need to. They've had a quiet morning so far. I need to see what's going to happen there.
There we go. Ooh, just a little bit caught up there. Just lent too much on the strokes on the 80 line. Just stopped her. But she's back on track. She's back on line. She's going on for 13. Oh!
That is a tough penalty to get, but she's still probably our race leader at this point in time.
Yeah, she's moving it well. Look at that jump. See how it kept so dry. That's what you want. That's where the speed comes from.
The Slovaks really resting all their hopes for today on Jana at this point in time. Their C2s are out of the final, and now she is the lone Slovak in this final.
She is, but she's doing a good job here. She's loving the pressure, and she's going on. 17-18, executed brilliantly on the forwards. Let's see how she deals with this last breakout.
Yes. And that is a very nice line. She'll bring some speed into the 21-22 combination.
Just watch her setting up for 21.
Needs to get that bow down. This is going to be
Well,
a
there's
good line.
plenty of time to get over the time, but the lead is 1:06.
And the
She
crowd's
needs to
going
pick it
wild.
up.
She needs to sprint.
Wow.
Just out.
I got to say, I thought that Melanie Pfeiffer's run was very vulnerable. It's held up a lot longer than I would have imagined. She is actually looking pretty good as we go into this final group.
Yeah, half of the athletes are so far gone. Reese Davis, what do you think so far? It's your local course. Will local knowledge help? Because we have Kim Woods coming up next.
Local knowledge will pay off, but composure is the main key. She keeps her mind in track. We know Kim can be damaging this course. We saw her take the leading time in the qualification. We saw her take the quickest time in the semis. She just needs to settle her mind down a little bit, keep it clean, and we'll see what happens.
Well, she had a remarkable semifinal run, 6 seconds in penalties, and still one of the best runs of the morning. If she can clean that up, she could and have the same kind of run, that would be an unbeatable run in comparison to what we saw before.
Yeah, if I might be right, I think even with 6 seconds penalties this morning, she'd be taking the lead right now. Obviously, this run doesn't matter. She's got to put it down in the final. There we go, she's doing some mental prep.
Well, this is a young athlete with a tremendous amount of potential. No matter how this run goes, she has to treat this world as a success. She's really put her name on the mark at this point in time.
Yeah, this is Kim's first World Championship final as well, at a senior level, so she's plenty going on. And obviously we all know she's very talented in a C1, picking out the European gold earlier this year. The kayak, she's going to be excited with this, and that is beautiful at the top.
There's a tremendous amount of power. Look at that turn. This is a great line that she's running.
Yeah, oh, just lost a little bit there. But a second up on the split. She keeps this going, she's in for the win.
She's lost a little boat speed there. She needs to get the boat moving again.
And she's back on it. Just look how the boat's gliding now.
She's already 4 seconds cleaner than she was at this point on her semi-final run. And look, she's putting the boat in exactly the right place. This will be
just a little bit high there, but she's rescued it.
Yes.
Well, the crowd's being pumped up. It is a Brit on a British course, and she's flying.
Yes, we saw this morning you need to be aggressive on these moves, and she's being so aggressive, and it's paying off. Look at how fast that boat's moving.
Yeah, Kim's well known for our team being pretty aggressive on and off the water. You never want to mess with that, but she
Look at that, 2.5 seconds up.
Story here.
She's incredible.
A hometown girl, and she's absolutely throwing down.
Come on, Kim.
That is a great line.
Right, she's keeping moving. Got a bit excited there, cheering.
The judges are going to scratch their heads a little there.
Yeah.
Nice line into 20. This could be a medal-winning run.
She just needs to keep herself settled for this last
A little
move.
low out of there.
Oh,
no. Do the spin. Keep it moving. Right now she's saying, hey, how can I make lemonade out of this? And she has done it. This
now
run will go into the lead.
finish. Is she going to make it? Is she going to make the medal?
Oh, I think she's...
105.
Wow.
She is so happy.
This crowd is absolutely going wild.
Well, that's what we want, is a bit of emotion. We've seen her cry, now we've seen her laugh.
That is is a great run. She is vulnerable because of that loop at the end, though.
Will it be enough? I'm not sure, but we'll wait and see.
There's not many left to take that run down.
4 more to go. So far, Great Britain leading, and there is an asterisk. I wonder who's put that on.
Yeah, it could well be a 50 on that gate that looked a bit sketchy. There was on 18.
Yes, 18 was.
Well, let's see.
See the close-up.
There
It needs to be her head and a part of the boat at the same time. I think it's not a 50.
Yeah, I'd argue that that's safe there, but
Let's see it from the other angle here if we can.
We'll let you know with the asterisks how they were.
obviously it's for the judges to decide, and as a fellow Brit, my bias should not be taken into account on this.
I think they should give it to her. I think that's a good run.
Okay, well, 4 athletes to go. So far, we have Woods, Pfeiffer, Dukatova in the medals, but there are 4 top athletes to go. Katerina Kudyova from the Czech Republic. The Czech C2s completely messed up their day. Let's see how the K1 women can go.
Kudyova is pacey. She's quick. She can put down the runs, and she knows how to move a boat properly and deal with the big water. The Czechs have plenty of experience on big white stuff. Let's see what she does today.
She is really going after this run. Look how aggressive her lines are. Look how aggressive her paddle strokes are.
Nice. Just on the back of the stopper there. That's going to be quick. May look like hard work.
She needs to get back here if she does that. She's got it. She's got a great run going here.
There we go. Just up on the split. That's what she wants to see. Now she sees keep herself going, keep pushing those hard lines, and keep herself in control. And it's looking good. And into this breakout. That's what she wants. Let's see how she handles the cross.
This is a great run as well.
But yeah, she's back on it. Thought she may have lost a little bit of time coming out to 12, but she's back online, back driving, and good drive. Just missed the jump strokes there. That's going to cost her time in the end. But she may well be up in the split. 3 seconds up.
Yeah, this is a great.
Wow.
Everywhere she needs to be right on line, she is right on line, and even there, a bit of a bobble, and it works out well for her. This is a great run she's got coming down the course.
Yeah, this sport, you need to be reactive and take what you're given, and that's what we just saw there. Bouncing up, keeping self-control, and getting the next gate.
One final move. She's got a good line out. She can make this work. She may well go into the lead.
I think she's going to take it. How's this sprint going to work for her?
You can hear the Czech team. You see the whole Czech team running along the banks.
Easily goes into the lead by 2.71 seconds. Katerina Kudyova from the Czech Republic has a medal.
Yes.
And I think Kim Woods has just been given the 50. The decision on 18 is made.
It shows how quickly we don't see her in the winner's zone.
Well, that's a disappointment. That's always a hard call to make. Was the piece of boat in the gate at the same time the head was in the gate? Obviously, the judges have a better perspective on that than we do, but I want to see her go down clean. I want to see her do well. She's had such a tremendous effort here, so disappointing for her.
So yeah, that's the latest, is that Kim Woods, who 2.5 minutes ago was the best moment of her life, it's just turned upside down.
Yeah, she's going to be upset about that, but she's going to keep on the positives from this event, making a World Championship final and putting on the pace as she has. She knows she's in a good place coming up for Olympic selection in October.
She'll be disappointed in that run, but there's a lot to come from that girl in the future.
I just said Kudyova has a medal. Not sure. I can't count, unfortunately. 3 athletes to go.
Yes, and 3 great athletes. As I said, Mylin, always great out here. She had a very good semifinal run. Jessica Fox, silver medalist from the Olympics. The new name on the board is Ricarda Funk, and she was so good out here this morning. She's just tremendously powerful, has a great amount of spring in her stroke, and then racing like crazy down this course. Look how fast she is in and out of gate 3.
Yeah, she may be small, but she can put the power down. Look at her flying out. She's had some great results this year, and she's going. This should be a good lead. There we go. Nice water there for her for 5-6. Coming in 7, and she's tracking it nicely back into 8. No over rotation to deal with. This is going to be the quickest split, and there we go. Half a second up.
She was so strong on the early part of this season, up on the medal stand, and then now again putting down a potentially medal-winning run right here.
Yeah, she's looking good. Boat's moving nicely, coming into gate 11 here, and that was beautiful. That's what she wants. Getting on the cross. Is she going to stay on the front of the boat, keep it driving into gate 12? Again, real nice and smooth. She's like, oh no, what's happening there?
That's not good news.
She's going Have to surf across now to N13. That's going to cost her all the time she's made up.
Those athletes need to get out of that upstream and right on top of the hole and bring the bow down. If they come out too early, they miss the gate to the right. If they come out too late, they tend to get eddied out.
See, just missed a couple of jumps there. She's going to be down on the split, 4 seconds. It's such a shame after the promising start she had.
This run is falling apart for her.
And how's she doing it? That was nice stuff.
Yes.
Getting herself back online.
What I love about this run is she is fighting to claw that time back. There's still potential to get on the medal stand if she's picture perfect the whole way down the course from here.
Yeah, she is not giving up. She is fighting for every bit of time she can get. Now onto the final crunch move. Will she make it? Yes, she has. Time for the final sprint. Let's see what pace she pulls out.
What's the needs to get in under 104.
Well, remarkable recovery.
Into second place.
Wow.
From losing 4 or 5 seconds on the midsection to
yeah, just goes to the credit of fighting back and never giving up. There's a lesson to be learned for all the junior paddlers watching this.
It has to feel good to be Katarina Kudalova right now. She is guaranteed at least a bronze medal at this point.
Well, but 2 Olympic medalists to come.
And I think that's a surprise. Katarina's a very consistent paddler. I don't think she was one of the people that she would have gotten up this morning and picked to be that medalist. And here she's put one in between the goalposts.
Next, of course, we've got Jess Fox, who we obviously all know got a medal here back in 2012. Let's see what she does today.
And clearly the reigning champion of world in C1 and K1. Let's see how she puts her run together.
So many here at the venue today pulling for Jessica Fox. This is one of the greatest athletes of the sport. She's still very young. A lot of people are looking to see if she can win that gold medal today.
I think she's also got the advantage of having one Brit parents, one French parents, being Australian. Wherever she goes, there's always a crowd to support her.
She's hometown everywhere.
Oh, yes.
She goes.
Jess Fox lives at the Sydney course, the home of the 2000 Olympic Games. Lives and trains right there, and she's hit gate 3.
Right, she's going to settle her mind for this and not let it distract her, not let it get in the way of the other moves.
One of the things we saw this morning is you don't necessarily lose that much time by taking that touch because it is faster to get in tight to that gate. Jessica leaving a little time behind and taking that touch, that's going to hurt.
She's recovered well. Look at the lines she took on 5, 6, 7. Boat did not stop moving. She didn't have hardly any over rotation to kill. It was a beauty. She's only 1.5 seconds down, including 2-second penalty.
She's running for it at this point, going to try and make up that 2-second penalty, but she needs to settle down and get the boat back in line, get that boat moving.
And she looks like she's doing it. In and out to gate 11. Let's see how she manages the cross at 12.
High there.
Just a little caught on the stopper, but she's moving it fine.
When you see how she fixes that, there's so much talent here, so much pressure in this race, and yet she still fixes a little bobble, puts the boat back in line, and gets moving again.
Just got a little bit caught up there in gates. It's 12, but she's back on track. Or 13, arguably, sorry. And now she's moving again. And she's 3 seconds off on the split. She's going to have to tidy up for this last section of the course.
She needs to get it moving if she wants to get on that medal stand.
If anyone can do it, it's Jess. And
nice line through there. Look at that.
That's what she wants. That's what she needs.
That's the best 17-18 we've seen today.
Time for the final drive to the finish. This breakout in and out.
She needs to take a risk here. She does.
She does. Oh, but
she can make that work. She can make that work if she sticks with it.
First place is 103. Third place is 106.
I'd argue she came too tight out of that breakout. That's cost her time. She may have been more competitive if it wasn't for that.
I think she's off the stand.
And she's into 4th.
Well, a tough result to not be on the medal stand, but one of the great things about today's race is she is guaranteed a spot for Australia for the Olympics.
That takes the pressure off on a lot of her compatriots.
Germany won the C2, and we have so far Germans in 2nd and 3rd position, sandwiching Katarina Kudalova. One athlete to go, Mylin Shore, who many people tipped as her favorite today.
Well, Melanie Pfeiffer sitting on the bubble right now. She is going to be watching Mylin very carefully. So is Katarina Kudalova. Is this going to be a gold medal run as she did in the semifinals?
Yeah, Mylin Shore, known for a quick breakout. She likes to fix it as much as she can. She was taking the timeout.
She was so dominant in the semifinals, so confident, and absolutely hammered down that course. I would love to see another run like that as she goes into the final.
It's beautiful about watching Mylin as well, that a boat just seems so light, so effortless. But what's she going to do this time?
tell you an interesting result there. Looking at Kimberly Woods, who got that 50, and I'm sure they're protesting that because it was a very close 50. Had she been clean, she would still be sitting in second place right now. So very talented young girl from Great Britain.
There's going to be a lot of noise.
Mylan a little low coming into gate 3.
But importantly, kept the speed running around it.
Look at how fast that boat is moving.
Everywhere Mylan puts her boat, it's moving well.
Well,
Into the spin.
Mylan on the medal stand several times this year. Certainly one of the best paddlers in the sport this year. Can she turn that into a gold medal?
We'll have to wait and see. Off the stop split, I think she'll just be down. But obviously, oh, no, there we go, the 2 second penalty disappeared. She's 2 seconds down though. There's not where she wants to be at this point in the course. She's going to have to work hard at the end. I think the spin on the 5 and the low breakout on 3 definitely cost her.
And she's just not quite as precise as she was on the semi-final run.
No, she seems to be taking pretty safe lines. I'm not sure if they necessarily need it.
Yes, she needs to be a little more aggressive. Good line through here. This will pay off.
There we go.
She's such an aggressive paddler. Look at her stick the boat up on its end.
That's more what she needs. We just saw a glimpse underneath the boat there that she's got fins on the underside, which help the boat on these courses actually move forwards better.
But look at that, 3 seconds off.
Keeps them tracking nice on the white water moves as well. It's like 2 little bow rudders on the underside of the boat all the time. Now how's she go through here? Oh, unfortunate touch.
She is not having the run that she wanted to have here today.
No, this is not what she wanted. But
3 seconds down on the split and then 2 seconds lost on that. She really needs to get moving if she wants to get on the medal stand at this point.
Is she going to pull it back from here? Nice line, nice and solid. Oh, that's speedy, but I don't think it's quick enough. Time for the final sprint.
She is absolutely sprinting for the medal stand right now. She will not get there.
No, into 5th.
Well, full of surprises today. All the big champions fell short. Unless Kimberly Woods can come back, she'd move into 2nd. But if she doesn't, it's Katerina Kudyova in the middle of your picture with number 8, the 8th ranked athlete in the world, who takes the gold medal. The Germans are looking delighted. Melanie Pfeiffer, 2nd time in a row, takes a bronze medal.
I'm very excited about Ricarda Funk. This is an athlete who's come on so strong this year, and to end up on that silver medal World Championship result is absolutely fantastic for her.
All 3 of those athletes, they're all so talented, been close so many times, and to pull it up at a World Championship level, they're going to be happy tonight, that's for sure.
And the one thing you see every quadrennium as you go into that Olympics is those top champions roll over. You get new champions that come in, and Ricarda Funk and Katerina Kudelova are certainly 2 of those athletes who have moved to the forefront of this sport as we go to Rio.
I'm going to put it out here, keep an eye out for Ricarda Funk when it comes to the next Olympics. I reckon she's going to be one of the big hitters, but as we know, the Germans have plenty of talent.
They're very deep. Only one of those athletes will go to the Olympic Games. Certainly they have a spot for the Olympics at this point in time. Only one athlete
Schoenberg, who didn't make the team, is a former world champion, so it's going to be really, really exciting.
Well, and that's really a sign of the depth that they have there. She did not make the team this year. She did race in the World Cup this year, and she won it.
Well, we know all these 15 countries for the women go through to the Olympics. So as you can see, France is not here, but they do have the Olympic quota. I can't think of any major country that was expecting to go through that's missed out. Slovenia's gone through, Austria's gone through. We'll be able to give you the official standings of who's made the Olympic quota. But so far we know that the Germans are having a good weekend.
Well, I was going to say, it's the first day of the finals.
Let's just break you off. I'm just going to go for the official confirmation. Katerina Kudyova takes gold. Ricarda Funk takes silver. Melanie Pfeiffer takes bronze for Germany, with Jessica Fox this time just falling short.
And that certainly surprised. I think a lot of people expected Jessica Fox to be on the medal stand today. Just missing out's got to be a disappointment for her. Kimberly Woods, I still got to say, honorable mention for that young lady. What a great effort that she put in today.
Yeah, you got to feel sorry for her that just lost the control just a little bit by 17-18, and although still arguable on the gates, you just got to make sure you don't give the judges any excuses. You got to be solid, got to be through the middle.
Well, and gold star for the German coaches, 4 boats in the finals today, 3 on the medal stand.
Yeah, that's what they want.
Well, stay with us, because very soon we're going to have the medal ceremonies. that's the first day's racing over and done with. We're going to have some ceremonies. We had lots and lots of surprises today, Reese.
Yeah, quite a few shockers going on. Not seeing any Czechs or Slovaks on the C2 final. No one would have bet against that, but it happened. And Dave and Rich, everyone thought they would be the favourites. A couple of upsets in the kayak women finals. Everyone was hoping to see Jess, but all the winners and the medalists definitely all deserved it. And that's the kind of nature of this sport.
And for the British perspective, will there be mass depression, or what will happen going forward?
Well, for myself and the C2, I have a bit of a bias as it means that no one's been pre-selected for the Olympics, so I've still got a chance. But overall, I think, yeah, it's going to be a bit, everyone's going to be a little bit down. They can take forwards the positives from the performances today, but yeah, there's still more to work on.
It's difficult to motivate themselves to be up for the team events, because clearly last year in the World Cup, I think the Brits pretty much cleared up in the team events.
It was gold and everything. It was quite a surprise of a weekend. But we'll have to see. There's some key moves coming up in this sort of team runs. The 11, 12, 13, I would not want to be part of a 3 doing those crosses.
Yeah, well, we're going to be covering that live, so it'll be interesting to see who manages to work out the right strategy to go for. Well, you can see in your picture below you, they're just preparing the podium stand where the champions are going to be crowned for the Worlds 2015. As we mentioned a few times, 8 pairs went through for the C2 in the sense that they have their Olympic quota in hand, and 15 women will also have the Olympic quota. Tomorrow is another day. We have the C1 men, the C1 women, and the K1. Obviously the British have high hopes in these classes. They just need to switch the athletes going in both classes. And there's quite a few, aren't there?
Yeah, all the Brits made it around. We've got a couple of double uppers competing tomorrow. So obviously we've got Dave and Rich, who are just in the C2 final. They'll be racing. We've got Adam Burgess, who was in the semis this morning in C2, he'll be racing off for the C1. And Kim Woods, who we just saw in the final there, she'll be also racing in the C1 women.
So it's going to be a case of I don't know if you're watching the rugby, you need to manage to find a way of switching off and then coming back. And you can see that the presentation ceremony is quickly gaining a bit of ground. I can't actually see the athletes come into picture yet, but as soon as we do, clearly we'll let you know. There you go, you can see on the actual side the
crowd. There's plenty of us.
So Reece, the legacy here, it seems to have worked out quite well this course since the Olympics.
Yeah, they've got a good system. Luckily the lottery funding's kept it going for us all, helped sort us out, and the legacy in terms of getting new athletes into sports really fired off with the talent ID system we got in place here down in Lee Valley. If anyone had noticed that in the week, we got tons of young children all training down here. And it's amazing how some of them, even as young as 14, 15, are paddling down this Olympic channel with no problems whatsoever.
And have you spotted any huge talents? Are there any wows out there? 16,
there's a couple.
17-year-old?
There's a couple I reckon that are going to be making it. But we'll have to wait and see.
Just a bit about yourself. Well, the good news is you live to fight another day, because clearly you're on the verge of. You went to the World Championship finals last year, didn't quite make the cut this year, but you're back in the game.
Yeah, back in the game. We were unfortunate last year, almost a month after coming back from the World Championships. I'd dislocated my shoulder on this very course, trying to do a similar course that's going on today of crossing from 20 to 21, where I got stuck in the stopper and did some damage. But the other boats, they put up a good fight and pulling off 5th and 6th. They'll be disappointed, but they know they've done well. But as the bonus for myself means no one's been pre-selected, and we can fight it off for that.
Well, that's
the single Olympic spot.
The nature of sport. When I spoke to Matt Lister 2 minutes before the C2 final, he was like, "Well, we know the rules. We resigned to not making it, and now it's all changed."
Yeah, there's a bit of positivity in here.
Well, we'll comment on what we can see. It's the medal ceremonies, which I guess is the highlight of the year.
Yeah, this is the big event. This is what everyone's raced for. So C2 medals coming up first. And the military assistant out there with the flag duties. It's all looking very official and classy.
Well, here we go. No surprise to have 2 French crews.
Yeah, these guys have been phenomenal all year. Never, ever bet against the French.
Well, and the way it works is you have senior dignitaries giving out the prizes, and looking from here, it's about 40 yards in front of me. I can see Jose Perina Lopez, who is on the right there. He's the president of the ICF, and Thomas Konetz, who's the president of the German Federation, who is always present at these major events, and will be hanging out the prizes.
Yeah, it's the gold medal winning team. It's their team leader. They'll be handing them out every time. So there's going to be one happy German team leader up there.
Well, Klaus Pesch, they have to pretend to be happy.
Yeah, they're going to be gutted. I think the medal points count against them in their Olympic selection next year, where Pico Biso will just have the upper hand.
They've known each other forever. They've been paddling together in the northwest of France for the last, or northeast of France for the last 14 years as a team. So it's
Yeah, and it
just
shows. Definitely shows in the way they paddle.
In the winter, they work in the SNCF, which is the French railway system, in the marketing department in Paris. So between October and February, they have an office job.
Yeah, I was actually surprised to hear this. The way they paddle, you think they'd train all year round, all hardcore, but the fact they have a gap and still pull out those performances, it's just a credit to how good they are as athletes and how good they are as paddlers.
Well,
and here comes Pico Biso.
Second time in a row they've done it, haven't they? When it counts, they can put down the runs.
Yeah, they can clearly put it down in World Championships.
Silver last year, silver this year.
Just general all-round good paddling. They're going to be over the moon with it. Yet another silver medal. And to beat their French rivals.
And then it's going to be the Germans, who are having a cracking weekend so far, and in the other classes tomorrow they'll also have the favourites.
Yeah, they're going to be in a good place. Hopefully they'll take some of the knowledge from today, push it into the C1, take that bit of the advantage to play against the fatigue of it.
2015 World Champions,
athletes.
Franz Anton and Jan Benzian. They've done it again.
Look at those smiles. They are so glad to be up there.
Jan Benzian, I believe, won his first world medal. Was it 2002, 2003?
I think it might have been 2003 over in Borg. But yeah, the guy's been around for plenty of years, and he's put up medals plenty. He's one of these phenomenal athletes that just keeps going, keeps on with the power. And always so good to watch. And to see them pick up C2 so quickly is just, again, just really shows their, shows their power and shows their abilities. No, celebrations. It's time for the anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of Germany.
There you go. Germany are world champions in the C2 for 2015 at Lee Valley, and we'll have to have the official photographs.
They had a real great run today, pulling out the quickest time and when it mattered in the final. 99+2. Didn't think we'd see it, but they did. Incredible performance, and we see the I Love C2 flag coming up.
Well, this is something clearly that the C2 athletes are in love with their event and want to hold on to it.
Yeah, we're in a bit of a dangerous position at the moment. We need to try and fight to keep C2 in, but obviously Yeah, it's a difficult political one with the C1 women. We need to keep them involved as well. But hopefully something can be worked out.
Anyway, time will tell. That's the result. Next one to come up will be the K1 women presentation ceremony.
Yeah, they've got the customary handshakes going on between all the athletes there. Yeah, they're all going to be over the moon with this. But confusion getting off the podium.
Well, it's thick and fast today. We have the C2 athletes moving off, as we see, and then the K1 women are going to be coming back and accepting their awards. I can't actually see them. They might be putting their official tracksuits on at the moment in the tents, which are just behind the bottom of the channel.
Just see Kim Woods there in the video feed. Unlucky to pick up that 50-second penalty, but she'll be happy with what she's done today.
But she needs to quickly refocus, doesn't she?
Oh, yeah. Just in time for a C1 tomorrow. We know she could pull out something special there.
And what are your plans for the rest of the weekend? Are you around? Are you?
Yeah, tomorrow we'll be helping out. We've got some volunteer duties to do. And just watch the finals and have some fun. And then it's back on focus and back into training, ready for Olympic selection.
And that's how many days' time?
That's going to be, I'm not sure how many days, but it's on the 23rd, 24th of October.
And how does that work? That's like everything plays out your next year.
Yeah.
You turn up in the morning, you shake hands with your friends, and then you hope to beat them.
Yeah, that's how it goes. You got to be ruthless in this sport.
And that's here at Lee Valley where the course are.
Yeah. So
who will set the course?
So the so I'm not sure who's actually going to be setting the course for the race. We normally have a system of pulling names out of a hat, but yeah, we're going to have 3 days of racing. Best two results count, and yeah, it's just going to be intense, nervous times for everybody involved. Everyone's racing against their friends. Everybody wants to beat each other. Nobody wants to lose. Everyone wants everything.
But you know the rules before you start.
Oh yeah, we know what we're buying into.
As last few details before the prize ceremony is given out. Still a really good crowd circulating around. This afternoon we have the team events, and just tell me how the team events work.
The team events, they are brilliant fun though, terrifying to be put involved in. You see, we have 3 boats, we have to negotiate the course together at the same time. It involves a kind of system of threading in and out and keeping space around the breakouts. There are a couple of key moves on this course that are going to be dangerous and exciting.
So if you're a fan, where do you need to sit to see the best of the action?
Best of action, 11, 12, 13. That's where I'm putting my money on. I think kidneys may get broken there. We'll wait and see.
Well, we have to, let's hope there's no injuries clearly, but we'll have to see how it pans out. Well, we have the international press lining themselves up there in the background.
There you go. See Jess.
There's Jessica Fox, who's just missed out on the medal this time. Won double last year.
Yeah, she's going to be a little bit gutted, finishing 4th. So close. Yeah, so far. Proctor on the side. I think he's going to be very happy finishing in 6th today. That'll gain him 29 bonus points going into our selection, which is worth just less than a win. So
and there's Richard Fox in the front. So there's all the key personalities. That's great that so many of the athletes of the last generation are now either their children are competing or their senior coaches, or as in Scott Shipley, they're putting back in the same as the blocks. They're the medal winners are going off to, well, probably not too much celebration because they have the teams coming up in a couple of hours' time. There's the flags.
Yeah, if anything needs a good, strong concentration, it's the team events. But here they come. Here's the next round of medalists.
Ladies and gentlemen, the medal ceremony for the women's K1 final.
Need to make sure they go the right way.
Yeah. This is a high pressure moment of the event for them. Now the finals, getting this done.
Surprises to many. So it's a new podium. We had Karina Kunle and Emily Fair didn't even make it through to the final, former world champions.
No, I think that just went to show how tough the course was today. And the technical elements of it, they can catch anyone off by going. But yeah, the athletes came through. They've been putting down runs for years. Melanie Pfeiffer obviously taking out a bronze medal last year.
Yeah, second time in a row. She's there. Well, we have doesn't matter who we had giving the list out. Medals presented.
Bronze medal. She's over the moon. Customary dignitary handshakes. And on to Ricarda Funk.
It's Adam Belgili, the IOC member, giving out the awards. That's Melanie Pfeiffer.
Silver medal. Representing Germany, Ricarda Funk.
There we go, Ricarda Funk with the silver medal. Jumping with joy yet again.
There you go, it's Ricarda Funk being given her medal. She's come up so quickly in the last couple of years.
Yeah, these last 2 years we've really seen her pulling out medal-winning performances over and over again, and this time finally the World Championships, where it really matters.
And then the winner of today, 66 athletes started out. 30 made it through to the semi-final, 10 made it through to the final. And the top athlete, K1 from the Czech Republic, is Katerina Kudyova.
Representing the Czech Republic, Katerina Kudyova.
There's a phenomenal run, pulling out the win. She's going to be so happy to be there. A gold medal, that's going to mean so much to her. Now she just needs to build on that for next year and see what she can pull out.
And then tomorrow in the K1, we obviously have mates Priskovic, and there's going to be Haradilek and all sorts of top Czech athletes to watch. So it might not be the last Czech medal of the weekend.
No, they've got so much talent, and as we said earlier, it's a real shocker not to see any C2s in the final. So that's normally their strongest class. But I think they made up for it here. There we go. Almost time for the Czech national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of the Czech Republic. London, put your hands together.
Katerina Kudyova is the top of the world today, gold medalist at the ICF 2015 Canoe Slalom World Championships.
Yeah, we can just see some of the highlights of a run there whilst the anthem is playing. Real top stuff going down today.
Bruce, you've had a big stint today. Thank you so much for coming in. Your dreams are still alive. You may well represent your country in the Olympics. Good luck to you and all your compatriots. Thanks so much for coming in today.
Thanks very much for having me.
And we'll be on air within about an hour or so. We're going to be covering the team events, and then tomorrow it all starts again. C1 men, C1 women, K1. I'm Matthew Layton. Thanks for following us, and join us again soon.
very good exhibition. But in the expo area, here the sun is shining, the atmosphere is electric, and we need your company this afternoon to continue that atmosphere. So make sure you're back on